What if I tell you that fasting is not as complicated as you think? In this video, I will help you overcome all your fasting fears and concerns. What's up, God Faves? Welcome back. And if you're new, my name is Cheryl. Welcome to Let's Christ Together. On this channel, I do faith-based content to help you grow in the Lord, just like this one. This week, we're talking about all things fasting. We'll be looking at what is fasting, the purpose for fasting, the different type of fast, how to fast, and lastly, I'll give you some tips on how to have a successful fast. So, what is fasting? Fasting is a spiritual discipline where you're abstaining from food, water, or drink for a specific period of time. It is a requirement for believers to fast regularly. According to Jesus, he said, when you fast, not if you fast, but when you fast. So, what is the purpose for fasting? There are several reasons why a person should fast. And no, this does not mean that you fast for all of them all at once. You will know what to fast for when that particular time comes. So the first reason a person would want to fast, and that is if the Lord is calling that person to any ministry work, that person would want to go ahead and fast and seek God's wisdom and empowerment. And we can see that when Moses fasted for 40 days and for 40 nights in Matthew 4, verse 1 to 2, then Jesus was led up by the Spirit into the wilderness to be tempted by the devil. And when he had fasted 40 days and 40 nights, afterward he was hungry. After Jesus finished his fast, he was empowered to start his ministry. And we can see that in Luke 4, verse 14. And Jesus returned in the power of the Spirit into Galilee. And there went out a fame of him throughout all the region round about. As you can see, it says that Jesus went into the wilderness in the Holy Spirit and he came out in the power of the Holy Spirit. And that's when he began his ministry. A second reason why we would want to fast is to grow closer to the Lord, deepening our relationship with him and to grow spiritually. And the reason why this works tremendously is because we're setting aside our wants and desires, humbling ourselves before God. We are spending intimate time with him, praying, reading the Bible, worshiping. There is no social media. There is no phone. Well, you can have conversation on the phone, but you're not spending majority of the time on your phone scrolling and playing games or whatever else you do on the phone. But when we are fasting, we spend quality time with the Lord. All our focus are on him and his desires, his wants, seeking him diligently. So the third reason why we would want to fast is to seek guidance and direction from the Lord concerning anything that we are seeking an answer for. And we can see an example of this in Paul and Barmanas, I believe that's how you pronounce his name, in the book of Acts 14, verse 23. And that reads, Paul and Barnabas also appointed elders in every church. With prayer and fasting, they turned the elders over to the care of the Lord, in whom they put their trust. In whom they put their trust. Paul and Barnabas had the responsibility to appoint leaders into every church. And they didn't just do it on their own will. They seek God in prayer and in fasting because they trusted in God. They trusted his decision, not their decision. They trusted that God would appoint the right leader for that particular church. The fourth reason we'll want to fast is if we have any areas in our lives that need divine intervention, and that's deliverance, that's healing, that's breakthrough, that's warfare. And a part of the reason why we would want to seek God's help in these areas is because some things are influenced by demonic influence. And we can see that when Jesus was walking, you would see that he was healing someone because that person had an unclean spirit or evil spirit within that person that caused that person to be sick. So we'll want to go ahead and seek God intervention in that area. Jesus himself told us that in Matthew 17, verse 21, he said, howbeit, This kind goeth not out but by prayer and fasting. I want you to pay attention to one common thing in these scriptures, and that is they relied on God. They fasted with the intention of seeking God's help, not to force God to move, because that's not the purpose for fasting. We are humbling ourselves to seek God's help, to seek God's intervention, to seek God's power move in our situation, not to force God, because that is not going to work. It's our heart posture that moves God. The different types of fast. So there are two different types of fast. There's a complete fast where you're abstaining from food, drinks, water. Nothing touches your lips until you complete that fast. And then there's a partial fast where you can either drink, eat some nuts or vegetables, beans, fruits, juice, or water. How do we fast? And let me just say this first. Please, if you're pregnant, breastfeeding, or on medication, do seek advice from your doctor. The first thing to figure out is why you want to fast. Do you have a specific reason why you want to fast? Is the Holy Spirit drawing you to a fast? Or is it a corporate fast where you're fasting with your church members? So that's the first thing you want to do, is to figure out why you're fasting. The second thing to do is to decide on whether you're going to do a complete fast or a partial fast. If you're just starting out, then I would suggest that you do a partial fast. This way, you're not completely cutting out all foods, risking you breaking your fast before time. Then, after you have done that a couple times, then you can try a whole day complete fast or a half day complete fast or a 3-day fast, a 7-day fast, a 21-day fast, however many days you can go. You can start with a full day fast, and that means that you say you start in the morning, then you end the following morning. Or if you want to do a 6 to 6, that is 6 in the morning to 6 in the evening, or 6 in the evening to 6 in the morning. And if you want some inspirations on what you can prepare on the partial fast, then you can do YouTube, you can do TikTok, you can do Google. There are so many wonderful recipes that you can find on these platforms. For me, I just keep it simple. If I'm doing a whole day fast, or if I'm doing a 6 in the morning to 6 in the evening fast, I will do a complete fast. Or if I'm not up to that day, I will have some nuts, fruits, and water. That's it. If I'm going a 3-day fast, then I'll have fruits and vegetables and nuts and water. One time I even did a 3-day juice fast where I got the fruits and the veggies and juice them at home. And I didn't get any headaches. I didn't feel hungry. I didn't get sick. In fact, I had strength to complete that fast. Something that I do all the time when I'm fasting that has helped me to complete my fast successfully is praying and asking the Holy Spirit to strengthen me during that time, praying and ask the Holy Spirit to give me the willpower to complete my fast. So maybe that's something you guys can try as well, is to invite the Holy Spirit in to help you on the days that you're fasting. Now that you have decided and all of that, do not advertise to anyone that you're fasting, unless of course you're doing a corporate fast where you're fasting with your church family. But even then, you don't need to advertise to everyone outside of that you're fasting, because Jesus says that's the only reward you will get when you advertise your fast to other people. Matthew 6, verse 16 to 18 reads, "Moreover, when you fast, do not be like the hypocrites with a sad countenance, for they disfigure their faces that they may appear to men to be fasting. As surely I say to you, they have their reward. But you, when you fast, anoint your head and wash your face, so that you do not appear to men to be fasting, but to your Father who is in the secret place, and your Father who sees in secret will reward you openly." Jesus is saying, do not advertise it to anyone. Do not be like the hypocrites, because when they fast, they seek attention from men. And Jesus said, surely they have received their reward. Their reward came from men. But Jesus said, when you fast, wash your face, anoint your head, go into your secret place and fast, because your Father who sees in secret will reward you openly. Here are 8 tips that will help you have a successful fast. Tip number 1. If you think that you're going to think about food throughout your fast, go ahead and meal prep ahead of time. This way, you don't have to spend time thinking about what you're going to eat. But when that time comes for you to eat, then you can have something ready already for you to eat. And if you get up one fine morning and the Holy Spirit said, I need you to go into fasting today, always have some nuts and some water at hand. So this way you're being obedient to the Holy Spirit and to help you on your fast. And the second tip would be to pray and ask the Holy Spirit to help you while you're fasting, because He will. The third tip would be to find you scriptures that pertain to the reason why you're fasting and meditate on those scriptures. You're at home, read them. You are at work on your lunch break, read them. But it is important that you spend time praying, reading the Bible, worshiping, spending quality time with the Lord. My fourth tip would be, if you're fasting and you have to go to work, make sure you get up early in the morning to pray and to seek God. On your way to work, you pray, you're seeking God, you're reading your word. At work, you're praying within. And when you get your lunch break, then you can go somewhere private and spend quality time with the Lord. My fifth tip would be to let your significant other know ahead of time that you'll be fasting and when you'll complete that fast. This way, they won't be expecting anything from you during that time, or to even touch you in places that you will not want to be touched during that time. And it's also biblical. My sixth tip would be to stay away from family members, friends, whomever it is that loves to gossip, that loves to cuss, because all these things, and I'm saying this because I've been there. I'm fasting and I said I'm not going to answer the phone for anyone. And here comes somebody calling me back to back. I'll pick up the phone and they're going through whatever they're going through, and all that you can hear is cussing, venting, gossiping, and I end up feeling terrible. I end up feeling disappointed in myself. So stay away from anyone that you think is going to put you in a position where you even feel like you want to break your fast. Stay away from them. And my last tip is to not complicate it. Do not overthink it. Just know when you're going to fast, why you're going to fast, how you're going to approach a fast, whether it be a complete fast or a partial fast, and prep ahead of time, and you'll be fine. And that's it for this week video, guys. If you do have any questions or concern, or if you want me to elaborate some more on any area, please do leave it in the comments. I'll be more than happy to help you out. I truly do pray that this video was helpful for you. Let me know in the comment what was your biggest takeaway. And until then, I'll see you next week. God bless.